Special thanks to all our patrons who support the show every single week. Patrons, you keep the Run, Eat, Drink podcast going, and we're so grateful for all the support you give and the community that you've helped us to build. Not a patron yet? Join us today. Head over to patreon.com/runeatdrinkpodcast or buymeacoffee.com/runeatdrinkpod and subscribe for bonus content, social media shoutouts, and much more. Help support our show by using our Amazon affiliate link anytime you shop on Amazon for running gear, food, beverages, or anything else the little gray trucks might bring your way. Just use runeatdrink.net/Amazon anytime you shop. There's no additional cost. It's just one bonus click to help us keep the lights on and the bandwidth flowing. Go to runeatdrink.net/Amazon. And we thank you for your support.
Hi everyone, it's Mefka Flesgahi, the Boston Marathon, New York City Marathon champion and Olympic silver medalist, and you are listening to the Run, Eat, Drink podcast.
Welcome to the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. We feature destination races from across the country. And after the race, we take you on a tour of the best local food and beverage to celebrate. So whether you are an elite runner or a back of the packer like us, you'll know the best places to accomplish, explore, and indulge on your next runcation. Hey, welcome to episode 297 of the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. I'm your host, Amy.
And I'm your co-host, Dana.
Do you know why I said it like that?
You're 3 away from the big 300.
What should we do?
Kick a Persian into a well?
I don't understand. Oh, the movie. It's a reference. This is
Run, Eat, Drink podcast.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we're not going to do that. Or are we? I don't know.
I was going to say, don't.
You're the chief.
Don't limit me.
You're the chief executive officer of our podcast.
Small but mighty company.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll talk about it if a messenger shows up with the severed heads of kings and throws them at our doorstep.
Wow, we're going the historical route. Okay. I might need another beverage for this.
Oh, gosh. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's as we're recording this, we actually have Hurricane Raphael, or soon to be Hurricane Raphael, churning off the coast of Florida. Heading to our friends over towards Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. So our thoughts go out to everybody who's going to be over on that part of the Gulf Coast that
everybody
may be encountering the storm in the next day or so. But
everybody in the Runcation Nation, please stay safe.
We're getting the first bands of that today.
And that
here
just
in Florida.
Means it's a big storm, yeah.
Yeah, everybody looks, when you look at the hurricane maps, they look at the spaghetti models, which are great, but that's where the eye is going to pass. And they forget that thing can go like 1,000 miles in each direction or 500 miles in each direction.
Have I told you how I can't wait until it's not?
Until it's not what?
Hurricane
season? Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're 3 weeks
I can't wait.
Away.
I can't wait.
December 1st, we're out. We're out of the window.
Out of the cone of certainty.
The cone of uncertainty, or the cone of certainty. It's certain that it's likely to happen. Sadly, it's been a busy season for us here.
When you were in the cone of certainty for a different storm, I was in the cone of not in the cone of. I was not in the cone of.
You
certainty.
evacuated.
I evacuated.
Yes,
that is correct.
And
for Hurricane Milton.
For Hurricane Milton, yeah. We're only going back a couple of weeks. It's not like it's been that long.
It has not.
We're pushing, I think, 4 weeks now since Milton.
Yeah.
And yeah, you had the opportunity to go up to New York. You had a work thing, and it was funny. We were talking about it, and I'm thrust into the city's preparation for the storm, and Amy's just, doing her daily work thing, and then she'd ask about it, see a little bit on the news. And then I think one night we were talking, and I said, if you are going to go anywhere, you need to be out of the state of Florida by Tuesday. Otherwise, you're not going anywhere, because we were already seeing
Effects.
And we were also seeing what other cities were doing, what other airports were doing,
and what was coming, slowly south to us.
And as it was developing earlier in the week, I think got up to a Cat 5 out there as it was closer to Pinar del Rio and the Yucatan Peninsula. You were able to get your flight changed and GTHO and go to Florida or go to New York.
Yes, get out of Florida and go to New York. And thank you very much to my employer, Nespresso, and to my thank you to my coworker, J9, I affectionately call her, and her father, Big Ed, from Big Ed's Eats over on Facebook, because they housed me. They kept me safe from the storm, and we had a blast working together during the time when I was gone. And her friends and family actually found she is just so excited about our podcast, tells her family and friends, and they scour the area and they found a 5K and half marathon that I could do while I was up there. I could choose. And it's called the Classic Apple Pie Half Marathon and 5K. I ended up doing the 5K because, as everybody knows, or if this is your first time listening in the Runcation Nation, our family is combating numerous injuries here. The Costin household is battling injury.
We're old and broken.
And we're currently broken and trying to work our way back because we love running and we love this community. We're choosing some shorter distances for now.
Nothing wrong with that.
And so it was so kind of them to locate some fantastic race options, some food and beverage, which is why I called this episode Run, Eat, and Drink Like a New Yorker. A New Yorker.
This, I think, is a first for the show. We haven't had any food or beverage content or running content, for that matter, from the Big Apple.
From our perspective.
From our perspective.
We've
talked about the New York Marathon, but we haven't had any that we personally have run. So you broke new ground here.
So Anna Runs on Coffee gave a great recap of the New York City Marathon, and shout out to everybody in the Runcation Nation who ran that.
Which just happened this past weekend.
Along with everybody who ran and completed any races at Wine and Dine. But yeah, so this is firsthand experience. At least half of your podcast host team here at the Run, Eat, Drink podcast got to experience, and I'm glad for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was just enjoying delicious MREs and no power and all that while you were sending me photos of the New York City skyline and all this amazing food and beverage you were getting. But that's fine. It's great.
You did that to me
awesome.
in Boston, so.
You didn't have a hurricane happening here.
I did not, but you still sent those things to me.
But you didn't have a hurricane here.
Okay.
Is this like the Leslie Chow? Did you die? That's what...
Okay.
No, but I was glad that you were able to get out of here and that you were able to find some good stuff
Next
to bring
time
back
I'll
to
stay.
us.
It'll be me and Buck and Danny and Natasha and Bruce, and we'll just be like
eating in the dark when
camping.
we don't have any power.
Or camping,
and maybe
glamping.
Water up to your neck.
Something, I don't know.
No. So I'm excited to hear about the Apple Pie 5K. I saw your photos that you sent regarding it, but you've also got some great food and drink that you...
I'm telling you.
were shared with you.
I'm totally
by
telling
people
you.
who know the scene up there.
Yeah. We always talk about we want to go where the locals go. And sometimes we do chains, and that's fine. But this was just an experience. I had a first-rate tour guide family.
Yeah.
And friends to just take me, and I could explore and indulge some great stuff.
I was going to say, with the chains thing, you'll hear people refer to chains and they'll default. That's a default dig on a place.
I don't necessarily see it as negative because we've covered chains before.
We typically don't. If we do, it's usually a smaller regional chain that we can't get, back home. But chain's not always a bad thing.
No.
And so we'll cover those occasionally, but we do like to support local where we can.
We do. And this time we really did. So the beginning of our shout outs starts off with a shout out to Janine, Big Ed, and all Janine's friends and family, specifically Joe in New York, who gave us stellar recommendations for this episode. So thank you so much.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
All our New York friends.
Yeah. And again, while this was going on, there were plenty of other things happening in the Runcation Nation. So we also want to say a congratulations to Andi, our fellow D Squad ambassador, and our friend Mike Leslie, aka @RunDisNerd on Instagram, for completing the Chicago Marathon while we were dealing with Hurricane Milton.
Yes.
I think that they were having a better time of it than we were back here.
Yes. And actually, Chicago allowed me to defer because of Milton.
Okay, tell that story a little bit, because you told me that, and I'm like, that's really cool.
Yeah, we're in the middle of the shout outs, which we'll get back to in a moment, but shout out to the Chicago Marathon, I guess. Brings me to the shout out to the Chicago Marathon, who sent all of us an email, and it said, we know some of you have been impacted by Hurricane Milton, have had to evacuate, or can't travel to race. So here is a code. If you need to defer, you can. And I was in the car with Janine. We were driving to Nespresso's headquarters in the city.
When you got that?
When I got that. And I was like, yay. This was hours before you were here, hunkered down at the police department, starting to feel some really bad effects of the storm. So I was just like, hey, class act. Here we go.
That really is.
It was great. And I really appreciate them having the foresight and the compassion and the empathy to do that for us. So
very nicely done.
Yeah.
So super cool. We also want to mention our friends Greg and Jovanna, are the owners of Nice Guys Pizza.
We have to do it again.
Friends of the show.
Yeah, we have to do it again.
We have to do what again?
We did it as a shout out in our last episode.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but we just can't. I just couldn't when I was doing the notes in the outline.
1 week's not enough.
1 week's not enough. Yeah.
No, they are just wonderful people. We've talked about them on the show. We've featured them on the show. They are also sponsors of the show. They're patrons. But what they've done to help us and help us further our mission as DONNA ambassadors is just amazing. They introduced their fall cocktail menu, and by the way, they do amazing cocktail menus with the theme. If you're a Schitt's Creek fan, they'll do a menu that's just all cocktails inspired by the show and named after things from the show.
I think we even talked about it last Christmas, how they did, during the holiday season, they did a whole, a photo album.
Oh, they're which they still owe us a copy of the menu.
Cocktails. It was amazing. They posed for family photos, the whole staff.
It was great.
It
they
was
professionally
crazy.
Shot that with their staff.
So wonderful.
It was so cute.
And the drinks are phenomenal too. It's not just buzz or press or
and it's not that they don't just rename common drinks either. They make specific drinks. They change up the menu. They have their staples.
They add their own touch to everything.
They do.
Yeah.
And what they've done is they have taken a drink that they named after you. I Dream of Autumn Barbie. And it's right at the top of the list and it's to describe it, I would say it's an autumn or fall take on a old fashioned with a little bit of spiced pear is the best way I could describe this drink.
So they describe it as nutty apple warm spice. No, they describe it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Let me start over. I Dream of Autumn Barbie. Bourbon, spiced pear, maple, orange, and black walnut bitters. And their little aside, which is normally, it's warm spices. It's a twist on a White Russian or whatever. Last year they had to do, we had this drink before the Barbie movie.
They did.
Yeah.
And which is true. They did.
Yeah.
And
so it's like a pear kind of spiced old fashioned.
You were talking with the bartender, a friend of ours and friend of the show.
Yes.
And she was saying, what are you looking for? What do you want to do? And then she jotted this down in her little
notebook
that she kept. And then this became a menu staple for the fall. So that's not the cool part. It is cool to get a drink named after you. That's cool. They are donating $2 for every one of these drinks sold to the DONNA Foundation to support their mission to help those battling breast cancer.
And they also support just groundbreaking research with the Mayo Clinic.
Yes.
In order to finish this disease and ensure that in the future, people do not have to suffer the effects as long. They don't have to choose between paying for their
bills,
groceries, or for power, or for whatever their family needs, and choose between that or treatment.
Exactly.
They do that. They support groundbreaking research to finish breast cancer. I just had to add it to the shout outs because it is an amazing thing.
Yeah. And we didn't know they were going to do that. And
no, I said, could you maybe do 50 cents or $1? We're going to do 2. Hello. They're just fabulous. Greg, Jovanna.
And here's the other secret. They have these things called Little Helpers.
Oh, it's so great. Yeah.
Nice Guys has a small canning machine, and they will do canned cocktails.
Yeah.
To include, by the way, not this particular drink, but even their smoked cocktails. They will send it home with a jar of smoke. And I brought Autumn Barbie home. I know.
I brought Autumn. They'll can Autumn Barbie.
They will can Autumn Barbie. So if you want to get it to go, you can do. And $2 from every drink sold going to the DONNA Foundation. Greg and Jovanna, you are absolutely fantastic people, and we
love you.
Cannot thank you enough for doing that. We're also going to be doing an online auction next month for the DONNA Foundation,
which is actually this month. Yes.
So.
Which is
we're in November.
We're in November, and I just when I was doing the notes and making sure everything was updated, I was like, "Oh, it's not next."
We're going to be doing an online auction here soon because I can't keep track of what week it is.
I can't keep track of what month it is, Dana. I'm sorry.
If you stay tuned, we're going to have great items for the Runcation Nation community.
Yeah.
For those of you that aren't so close to Cape Coral and Nice Guys Pizza that you can enjoy as well. Keep an eye out for that.
I have one more shout out.
Okay.
I would like to wish a very happy birthday to you.
That's early, but thank you.
On Thursday this week, you're going to be 25 with a little bit of practice. So happy birthday to my co-host, and thank you for making the show wonderful. I hope it's a great day for you.
Thank you. If you want a shout out for you or someone else you love on the show, email us. The email address is info@runeatdrink.net. That's info@runeatdrink.net. Or you can call us
at 941-677-2733. You can leave us a message. We can play that message. You can actually text us there too.
Leave us a message.
But leave us a message because we would love to make you Runcation Nation famous. Like Dawn of Dawn Be Joyful was Run Disney famous on all their social media channels for Wine and Dine this past weekend.
There you go.
So it's just, but the Runcation Nation thing is way bigger.
It is way cooler.
It's way cooler.
Let's talk running.
Let's talk running, yeah.
So the classic apple pie half marathon and 5K in Brooklyn, benefiting the Never Stop Running Foundation, which encourages fitness in the community. That is the race you did.
That's the race I did. And they had a half marathon and a 5K distance. And it started mid-morning, like 7 or 8-ish. So I rolled out of bed and I woke Janine up, J9. And I said, Joe told me about this 5K. Let's go do it. And I'll drive you there. I still haven't gotten her in on I was like, we can walk the whole thing. The time limit for the 5K is as long as the half marathon course is available. So because it's actually, the 5K is 1 loop and then the half marathon is 4 loops
4.5.
Give or take.
Right.
I mean, it went out just a little bit further than the 5K loop, but but I was like, you can do it. She's, I'll cheer you on. I'm still hoping she's inspired by everything she saw and wants to do it maybe 5K with me next year.
Okay.
So it's, and this was in between the Brooklyn Bridge and the,
Verrazano?
yeah, I was going to butcher that. You can see it as you run the loops.
I saw you on, so that looked like it was running along the water for a good bit of it.
Yes. And almost entirely.
Okay.
Yeah. And I actually think it was entirely. But it was just beautiful. And off in the distance, you could see the Statue of Liberty, the Freedom Tower.
Oh, wow.
I cannot tell you. And it was such a family-friendly, dog-friendly course. We saw strollers. I really wanted to stop and ask these guys. They were dressed in dresses. I don't know if it was a fraternity thing because they were about that age, college age,
right,
on the course. But it was just, we got there and we saw the 9/11 memorial that was dedicated for Brooklyn. We had bib check-in or packet pickup, which was flawless. They had a little tent set up. And they had our number, and I registered that morning.
Well, okay, I was going to ask you. So you've got the link here. We'll have the link in the show notes. That was events.elitefeats.com/24applepie.
Yeah, and Elite Feats, they do not just the apple pie, but there are a bunch of events. So this one, having come and gone already, you can still see their upcoming events and find something that works for you because their organization was just on it.
Okay, so they had done this once or twice.
Oh, yeah.
Based on what your experience was. Did it seem like there was morning of, so it was morning of packet pickup then?
I rolled out of bed and
You rolled out of
registered
bed and did it. Okay.
online. So as long as it's not sold out, you can get in there and up to the morning of, and you can do packet pickup the morning of. And I didn't look because it was something that was brought to my attention right after I arrived in New York, but I am sure that they had pre-race day pickup. And
But this is a great example. Like you went for quote unquote a business trip. You left earlier than you had intended, but so you go up there and on a lark, you get told by
new friends.
I have there's a 5K this weekend you can do, and you just went
okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Bang. And you were able to get in, get there, pick up, no problem.
No problems.
Okay.
No problems. So we had packet pickup. We had 3 or 4 porta potties there, and they were setting up the after party, which included a medal, which included little mini apple pies for each participant. They had
when you say that,
seltzer water.
Hold on, back up.
Okay.
When you say apple pies, because I'm a child of the 80s, I'm envisioning the old-fashioned McDonald's apple pies that were fried in like lard. No?
It was an actual pie.
Like a little round pie?
Circular pie, yeah. I have a picture of me in the episode artwork with it, along with the medal, which is a slice of apple pie.
And I'm looking at the medal. You got it sitting there next to you. I think that's adorable. For a 5K medal, that's pretty darn good.
It's metal.
Yeah.
It's metal.
That's nice.
And the ribbon says Elite Feats, Classic Apple Pie, Half Marathon, and 5K. And there are Tyvek bibs that we got with timing on the back.
So it's chip timed.
Chip timed.
Okay.
And and I really like their tagline, which is Slice Baby. And the shirt for the 5K, and I think it was the shirt for the half as well. It's a cotton shirt.
So not really meant to be
run in. You don't want to do that,
right,
especially on the half, the longer distances. But it's a nice dark red color. Has their logo, and it says Slice Baby, and it has, just all the sponsors on the front and really nothing on the back.
That's different.
Yeah. Usually the sponsors are on the back. So,
but it's a nice color.
And it was, and at the same time as this 5K, I was the DONNA 5K. That was the fall race in the Fearless series, the 5K that's at the golf course up there in Jacksonville was going on.
We haven't done that one yet.
No. And I knew that I couldn't make it there because I was going to evacuate for the storm. So this race did double duty in that I could run this and complete my virtual. So it's like a 2-for-1 kind of thing. So I was wearing our Run, Eat, Drink podcast breast cancer awareness shirt. So when I came to Packet Pickup, one of the people that was manning the giving people the medals and the shirts and everything at the after party, like the apple pies and the drinks, was like, yeah, I'm a cancer survivor.
Oh, wow.
I need to take a picture of your getup because I had all the things on.
Right.
And I used the bib boards that JoJo gave us for the Donna Marathon weekend that year that we had the Runcation meet up there.
Yep.
So it was great. People were so friendly. People in New York get a reputation.
I think usually outside of New York, they get a reputation.
A certain reputation. And I would just like to say that runners and those who cheer on runners, no matter where they are from, are the nicest people you ever want to meet.
And some of my best friends are New Yorkers.
So
very undeserved reputation there. There are a-holes in every state and every city in the country. So
yeah. So this went off, I don't know, 7 or 8 in the morning. And it was right along the water. It was flat the entire way. And there were benches all along so that people who were cheering could sit. And then when their people were coming around the loop, they had signs. They were cheering on their family members or their friends or their fellow runners. And there were running groups outside the race that were using that as a running trail. And you could have, as you run this thing, there were stairs, or you could go flat. There were
that
stairs.
seems like a no-brainer to me.
You know, those people who are needing to get that stair work and needing to get that hill work in, there you go. You had options. You can go to the flat.
No thanks.
Or you can do the stairs. And I'll see if I can post, I took video of that. I took video of the stairs and I was like, hey, should I do some stair work, hill work? What are your thoughts?
I know how that went.
And I chose to do the flat.
Yeah.
Because of the current injury. So all in all, people were friendly and cheering all along the course, and it was just beautiful. The weather was beautiful.
I was going to ask, what was temperature like?
The humidity was like non-existent.
Nice.
And it was a lovely breeze. It was in the 40s or 50s.
Wow. Nice.
Just amazing. And
I know some of your nighttime photos you sent, you had like woolly hats on. So it was a good bit cooler up there than down here.
It was so great.
Nice.
It was just great. The time of year, the environment, the people, just the whole experience. When you can do a last minute race undiscovered that has so much like that it just makes you so thankful for those experiences that you happen upon.
Okay. You mentioned a loop. Is it or is it an out and back?
The people who were doing the half marathon, they kept doing the same.
Doing a loop around.
And it was a little bit longer. The half marathon loop was a little bit longer than the 5K turnaround.
Okay.
But the 5K was, you come to the turnaround, there was a water stop. And we only did that once, and our loop was just a tad bit shorter than the half marathon loop that they did, I believe, 4 times.
Nice.
Yeah. And as I was coming to the finish, Janine was there on the phone with her friend who had recommended the race, and they had photos that I got for free. And
wait, you mean the race had
photos? Yeah. It was fantastic. Fantastic. I would definitely recommend events by this organization.
So the online registration, difficult process?
No, so easy.
How expensive?
So easy. Let's see. You do last minute things. They're just, you get the medal, you get the shirt, you get the Table Talk apple pie, which is apparently a thing. I didn't know that was like a thing, but apparently Janine said...
Table Talk being the brand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how did it taste?
I don't know, because I left it for Big Ed.
Oh, okay.
to have.
Big Ed, we're going to need a review of the apple pie.
Yeah. It was not expensive at all. It was $50.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, a little less than $50.
For everything that you're describing and what you got there, that sounds more than reasonable.
Yeah. And I don't know how that, I don't recall looking at the half because I was thinking I'm just going to do the 5K because.
So was it where you started and ended? Mm-hmm. Was it like a park?
It seemed like
or
a
part of a linear park?
Part of a linear park, yes.
Along
I would say
the river.
linear. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
And I just loved how you could see all the sights in the distance and people had benches and it was just, it was just
I have
beautiful.
to imagine
it's beautiful.
It's pretty cool looking at the Statue of Liberty off in the distance as you're running. Like, okay, that's pretty awesome. The last time I saw the Statue of Liberty, admittedly, I was on a little bit of a VIP tour.
Oh.
08, and I was on a NYPD harbor boat. But, running along the river would have been pretty cool too.
It was. I really enjoyed it. I had Janine put the medal around my neck in place of you because I know traditionally we'll put the medals on each other, which is one of my favorite parts of the end of a race. So it meant so much to me that she was there to do that and to get me there. She is an experienced driver. Yeah.
That's code. I know. Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, if you're a daily driver in the New York City metropolitan area, you've got to be a quote unquote experienced driver.
She did a great job.
Okay.
I have no complaints and all the appreciation in the world.
Listen, you didn't come back traumatized like you did when you went out to California with a former boss of yours, which I don't know that you've ever fully recovered from.
I don't think so.
Okay, so this race here, would you say, number one, would you do it again?
Yeah.
Number two, if somebody's traveling in the time of year when this is being offered, would you recommend it?
Yeah. I would totally recommend it because the weather's great. The organization is fabulous. You meet great people.
Okay.
Yes.
And then I have another question because I saw the photos you were sending back and it seemed contemporaneous to the race, but it may not have had anything to do with the race. So you got done running and then I start seeing pictures of dogs.
Dogs?
You went to an adoption event. Was that part of the race or was that just, okay, that was just something that
was
happened separate, but
those
afterward.
dogs appeared during the drink segment of our show.
Oh, okay. So we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
so
I kept seeing the photos.
It was not tied to the race, though.
That was what I was wondering. Was it part of the race? Congratulations. You've just done this 5K. Adopt this dog.
No.
You know what'll make you feel better? A puppy.
Although that would be great. That would be amazing.
You would feel much better after a race if you had this lovely puppy licking your face.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There were so many pigeons there, too.
Yeah. It's New York.
Yeah. It was great. It was so great. Yeah. But no. Okay. Before we talk about the puppies.
Let's talk about food.
Let's talk about food.
Okay.
Because I was hungry.
Here's the thing. I was jealous because, again, I'm back.
Oh, you were?
Well, I'm back here. I joke. We didn't have to eat any MREs, but we did have some frozen burgers that were being cooked in the police department on whatever hot surface we could find to cook. And we ended up doing quite well for emergency cooking. But your food game up in New York was killing mine. And you're sending me photos of this like in the morning. And I'm like, you're sending me pictures of the New York skyline and then this amazing food in the morning. And I'm like, oh, hell. Because I know what's coming later in the day. It's going to be power outages and crap for the next 72 hours.
So I shouldn't have sent you the pictures.
No, that's fine. But I was just like, man, I'm like, you evacuated the right way. You got the heck out of Dodge.
I did.
You didn't just leave the area. You left the region.
I did.
And again, if you're going for food, especially breakfast, looks like you found an awesome spot in New York for breakfast.
Janine and her friend Joe go, have you ever had bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll? Not on a bagel, on a roll.
Okay, so when you say roll,
apparently a thing.
Yeah, okay, but when you say roll, what do you mean?
Like a roll.
Like a soft roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never had that.
For the first time, I had it at Yawker Park Bagels in Brooklyn. And that is just a deli-like atmosphere as you walk in. And Janine had to circle the block while I ordered our sandwiches.
Because there was no parking
There's no
available?
parking available and there's no seating. So we did it
No seating like available, or they don't have seating?
They don't have seating.
Get your food and go.
Yeah, you pick it up and you go.
Gotcha. Okay.
You pick it up and you go and you have it elsewhere.
Okay.
And so we had it like real New Yorkers.
Close enough.
I can't do it. But we had it in the car.
Okay.
In a parking space that she fought for, which temporarily was a bus stop, and then we could pull forward, and then it was a parking place where we could eat. If you hear us talking about moving the car moving as we're having the sandwiches, then that's what's happening. Is that we're fighting for a parking place. It's like you're stalking somebody for a parking place.
The photos look fantastic. Now I don't know, and maybe you do. Yawker Park Bagels. Clearly, if they're a bagel place, they're a bakery.
Oh,
do they do their own rolls too? Is this all like cooked in house?
I don't know. I should have asked that question.
It appears so based on the photos you've sent.
Like they have the bagels, they have the home of the chicken ridiculous, which is apparently a chicken sandwich that you have to have. They've been there for 20 years. It's amazing. It's making my mouth water even now just looking at the photos that I am sharing with you. And there's I took video of the deli case.
Yeah.
Oh. And it was just like, I can't even. I just can't even. Reliving it is just making me hungry.
You'll be sharing this on social media, I assume, because this is not something you just keep and hold on to yourself.
Look at the croissants and look at all of the like chicken salad, homemade chicken salad, egg salad.
So it's a full service deli, and they've got a ton of house made stuff. The thing about New York, and we've been a couple of times.
Yeah,
there are so many neighborhood spots that are just killer. They're just really good. And you've got to be, because in a city of, was it 13 million now?
Competition is fierce.
It's absolutely fierce. So you've got to be good and on your game to stay in business.
Yeah.
And places like this, they do just an amazing job. So exactly what did you get? Bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll.
And
I heard that there was a condiment that you had to have as a New York staple. I was
like, are you serious? There's a movie that my dad rarely went to the movie theaters, and there's a movie called Sweet Dreams, which is the story of Patsy Cline. And in this movie, there's a scene where she comes out of the bathroom and she sits down at this diner, and one of her bandmates is having eggs and putting ketchup on those eggs. And she's, please don't eat that. And so when Janine said to me, if you're not going to get the sandwich made with ketchup, then you have to get it on the side so that you can try a little bit of it with the ketchup, because the sweetness, she said, I just can't describe it to you. Just go in, just order it, and then we'll talk about it.
There's a weird crossover here.
Oh?
My mom was a big fan of scrambled eggs with ketchup.
No kidding.
And I grew up with that.
Really?
Yeah. And my mom was born in 1937 in the deep South in Macon, Georgia.
Never
scrambled eggs with ketchup, big thing in my house. So yeah,
we've been married 26, 27 years. You never told me that.
Yeah,
never. Now I know. The more you learn something new every day. We captured the moment. I did a video, and now I have the audio to share in the episode.
So you did the review in the moment?
Yes. And Janine was so good to me. She was just telling me how to do it like a New Yorker. And we have that audio.
So you ate the sandwich and then you flipped somebody off? Is that what I'm hearing?
No.
Just kidding. Let's play it.
Guess where we are? Runcation Nation, we are at Yawker Park Bagels. in Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn.
What do you say?
Brooklyn.
I'm trying to learn the lingo here, and I have my family, my New York family.
That's right.
Janine and Big Ed have been taking great care of me as I evacuated for Hurricane Milton and discovered a race. The classic apple pie half marathon and 5K. I did the 5K. People were so great.
I sat in my car.
Great view of Brooklyn in the water.
Yeah,
awesome.
really
Awesome. What better way than to cap it off with eating something unique to New York that you can't get in Florida, where we're from, and drink.
I mean, you probably could.
Yeah.
But this is a quintessential New York quick breakfast. We do it best.
My host and travel guide is Janine, or I like to call her Janine.
That's right.
So she is a member of the Rencation Nation, whose current bumper sticker is 0 miles completed. But
I did a 5K once. I almost died, but I did it.
so her current bumper sticker is 5K walking, and just like me, because I'm injured right now. So now we're going to eat. What we do, we accomplish, and then we explore and indulge in the local food and beverage. So what are we going to do, people? Yes, we're at Diker Park Bagels in Brooklyn, and I'm going to have my very first ever Don't Hit Us. Don't hit us.
We're at a bus stop. Very New York.
Apparently at Diker Park Bagels, you don't sit inside. It is a deli you order.
Yeah.
And then you eat it in your car. It's classic New York.
Yeah, we typically don't do a bacon, egg, and cheese in a place. You get it usually from a bodega. New York.
Oh, so typically you get a bacon, egg, and cheese at a bodega.
Yeah.
And then you eat it in the car. So I'm going all New York style with my host and tour guide, Janine.
Yep.
And I did a bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll, toasted with just a little bit of pepper. I forgot the butter.
That's okay.
Some people eat it with butter.
I don't order it with butter. Some people do that we know.
Dude,
it looks delicious.
Some people eat it with ketchup.
Like me. Only a little. I only like a
Ketchup.
tiny bit. I don't even like ketchup.
It's why?
But I can't explain it on a bit. It's one of those, the skivats. I skeeve the thought of ketchup on an egg, but on a sandwich, it's good. Looks good. Yep.
That's the roll.
You did bring a little bit of Florida to it because you had them toast the roll, which we
Oh.
typically do not do here, but we're going to give it a go.
I don't know.
I like the idea.
All right. I think it looks good. I think that I asked for well done bacon in
You have to.
honor of my mother.
Have to.
Yeah.
Always. No grizzly bacon here.
Mm-mm.
All right.
All right.
Let's see.
Are we doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
We're
go.
breaking keto just for today, maybe a little tomorrow,
Mm.
in honor of your visit. We have to
Janine
give it up New York.
has lost 100 pounds.
I did.
So
Yeah.
she pays very close attention to what she eats.
Mhm.
So she follows keto and she's lost 100 pounds. But
Yeah.
we are having a celebration because we are safe from the hurricane
That's right.
and we finished the 5K. Now we're going to have a great cheers.
Yep, with our
Clink
toasted
it.
roll. Yep.
And then sink it, as Rhett on Good Miracle Morning would say. Rhett and Link.
Mm.
Okay. Okay, now. I think the roll is very soft, even though toasted.
No, it's good. It's not hot. Yeah, they did a good job. Lightly
And-
toasted.
And the eggs, they are the lightly peppered eggs. Like, it doesn't need salt.
No, you have salted the bacon.
Yeah.
All right. Next, you're gonna try a little bit with ketchup, right? Just
Mhm.
put a little dollop like here,
Mm.
and you're gonna see what the sweetness does to that sandwich. It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
It's like
American.
American.
Yeah, we do. No, American. Absolutely. Always yellow American on a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Always yellow American.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
Very simple. Very good.
Okay. So we've talked about the main components that we currently have in the sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think this ketchup does?
It adds a little sweetness.
Okay. Heinz ketchup.
Always.
All right. You can see the little flecks of pepper. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm skeptical.
I don't blame you. I was too.
All right.
It's good. You're
All right.
gonna like it, I think.
Here we go. I don't care. Okay.
All right, she's going back in with the ketchup. Did I not say it? I knew it's good, right?
Yeah.
You can't explain why, but it's good. I highly recommend. I would not eat scrambled eggs in a plate with ketchup on it. It has to be a component of the sandwich.
You think it's because of the bread?
Yes, the bread is a buffer. Otherwise, it's all you get is ketchup. You just put a little ketchup. It does something to the eggs.
But then you still get the smokiness of the bacon.
You do. Which is very important that you don't have grizzly, undercooked bacon. I know some people like bacon like that, but I like crispy bacon myself.
You're right. It's American. There's no sharpness to the cheese.
No, you don't. It's really for the look and a little bit of texture. You're not really getting a lot of American cheese taste, but you could do a different cheese, but then it would not be a classic BEC.
I'm doing what you said.
Yeah. I'm glad you like it.
The tip is, when you go and you travel and you happen to have a friend in the area where you're runcationing, listen to them and listen to their community so that you can explore local food and beverage.
Good, right? I'm glad you like it.
I got a caramel latte.
Oh, all right now.
Yeah. I don't know.
We're coffee people. We don't discriminate. We do, but we don't. Sometimes you're out and you can't have an espresso machine. So you need to get coffee on the go. So we try to get good coffee. We'll see. I'm curious. A caramel latte.
It's not overly sweet. I think that they maybe just do some of the syrup. The latte's got milk.
We're going to hit up some other spots today, too.
So you could get a good coffee. You
guys.
can get black coffee. You can get whatever in there. They have a whole menu.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have a whole menu. But we're going to show you more of New York now that the running is done, we're going to explore and indulge in local food and beverage. So cheers to Janine and everybody in the Runcation community that has given fantastic tips so that we can accomplish, explore, and indulge more really soon. I'm going to eat this whole thing with ketchup.
All right. I'm hungry for breakfast now.
The ketchup, I didn't think it would be so good.
It's good.
On that sandwich.
It is.
But it is.
Here's the other dirty secret, too.
Yeah.
Barbecue sauce.
I haven't. Now we have to go back to New York and get one so that we can try it both ways.
I'm just telling you, if you've never had scrambled eggs with barbecue sauce, try it. It's not horrible.
Okay.
It's actually better than not horrible.
I'm learning
it's really
all sorts of things in this episode, along with you, Runcation Nation. Yes.
I do what I can.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about running. We've talked about eating. Apparently, there are places in New York where you might be able to get an adult beverage.
And we got a recommendation in Brooklyn. It's this whole big place called Industry City. And then within that place, there is the Standard Wormwood Distillery.
Yeah, you were telling me about this place, which it had everything. And she's like, yeah, there's a really cool distillery, but then there's a comic book store that you got to check. Okay.
Yeah.
It clearly she knows like what's going to speak to me.
Of course.
Now, granted, the comic book store would be way cooler with some whiskey, but
So
I
you
would
just
be
do
absolutely be focused on the comic store. So,
well, I was focused on dogs because there was a dog adoption,
and then this is where the dogs come into play.
Yes. And I want to say that I took a picture. Yes, I did.
You took tons of pictures during the dog adoption.
So once we had sustenance, we headed to Industry City on the recommendation of Janine's friend Jill. And we walked in and it's just, and if I would just read the description of Industry City, there are tons of restaurants, breweries, distilleries, comic book stores. There's like a grassy knoll where there was a birthday party for kids going on. It's like an outdoor, it's not like an outdoor mall. So I can't.
You've got to describe it. You're on the podcast right now. What is it? Tell us.
So it's the history of it is a great industrial city within a city. It's founded by Irving T. Bush in the early 20th century. Bush Terminal, it's like a terminal, was the first facility of its kind in New York City and the largest multi-tenant industrial property in the United States, keeping the entrepreneurial spirit of the property. The $450 million redevelopment modernized the campus to support innovation the modern innovation economy and bring quality jobs to the waterfront. So Industry City, then, they describe the modern day.
It's essentially a giant historical industrial park that's been converted to restaurants and cool spaces. And I love it.
It's they call it the most diverse creative hub, housing more than 550 companies from design and media to technology and manufacturing. And it's 6 million square feet.
Good Lord.
It goes several blocks.
Wow.
There are different buildings and they're numbered. And it's a 35-acre campus along Brooklyn's waterfront. It's a thriving ecosystem where 8,500 people come to work daily. Restaurants, pop-up shops, private event space, food, furniture retailers, abundant outdoor space.
That sounds really cool.
It's awesome. I'm just saying it's awesome. And within this place, there is this courtyard atmosphere, and it was all decorated for Halloween. Like they had like lighting. So I imagine if you come back at night and all the pumpkins,
or come back now at Christmas, as we're heading into the Christmas season.
It's probably decorated for Thanksgiving and the holidays now.
No, nobody decorates for Thanksgiving. I know you love that.
Sad.
I know.
Sad.
They decorate for Christmas.
I object.
Christmas is a holiday. Thanksgiving is a meal. Oh, she hates that. I'm just kidding, but nobody decorates for Thanksgiving. Anyway,
this can be decorated for whatever season you're in.
Exactly.
And at that time, they had a Heart and Bones Rescue. Hearts and Bones Rescue. Hearts and Bones Rescue.
This is where I saw the pictures of the dogs.
Oh, and I met the cutest little doggy, the cutest little boxer, and her name was Carrie, and she was just adorable, and I wanted to get in a car and bring her home. Her foster mom and dad were so kind and let me take endless pictures of this dog and love on this dog. This dog jumped up on me, and we were just in love with one another. And I just wanted to take her home.
And then you left her.
I know, but they said that somebody was interested in adopting her and on the way back to her. So I know she got a good home. Look at this face.
Oh, she's a cutie.
She's
without a
so
doubt.
cute and
Without
she's
a doubt.
so sweet. And I just,
You're going to share a picture on social media,
I
right?
will. She's just the best. And I know she got a good home because her personality was so sweet, like Danny's. Like our little Danny girl. So we saw that, and then I was just super thirsty. And so we went to the Standard Wormwood Distillery inside of Industry City.
So I was going to ask you, given the name, the Standard Wormwood Distillery, wormwood is, of course, an ingredient in absinthe. Were there absinthe cocktails?
Yeah.
Did you have an absinthe-based cocktail?
I did.
You're like,
not.
no, I did not. No, because I don't like you don't like the licoricey flavor of absinthe.
No.
Okay.
I don't. So I didn't. And I guess I should have because of the name, but I'm sorry.
It's okay.
They are always combining seasonal ingredients and they make their own liquor. So it is awesome. And they have a huge menu.
When you say menu, you mean cocktail menu or food menu?
No, cocktail menu.
Okay.
They have a big cocktail menu. It's 2 pages.
Okay.
And they'll have seasonals, but then they'll also have classics like a Manhattan, a Negroni, a Sazerac. They'll have a margarita.
So tons of classics.
And, to your point, they have an absinthe cocktail.
You have to if you're the Standard Wormwood.
Yeah, and then they have wine and beer from local places, and then
nice.
And their spirits that they make, they have a wormwood rye, they have a wormwood gin, they have an agave, they have a rum, and then they have cordials. Mm-hmm. So, and you can have a tasting menu, but we had some fun with a couple of different cocktails. Mm-hmm. From the menu. And then there was a bonus that was so cute that I'm going to share for the patrons.
So you recorded some live
Reviews.
takes, some
Yes.
hot takes in the moment. And we're
Yes.
going to share those with you guys right now.
We're continuing our tour of Brooklyn here at Industry City. We have made a stop at the Standard Wormwood Distillery. All spirits and cordials made in-house. And we have 2 beverages. Janine is joining me to review what is called the Fall Shrub Blueberry Lemon Italian Plum Pink Peppercorn Vinegar and Vodka. And so it's a cocktail, and what better season considering it's October. There are pumpkins all over this place in Industry City, and we're on cozy couches outside of this bar, this Wormwood Distillery, and it is just a cozy, relaxing fall day vibe.
That's right. We are vibing.
We're vibing. So give it a taste and tell us what you think.
Delicious. It's
Okay.
sweet. It's sweet. It's good.
If you like sweeter cocktails, this
Yeah,
could
it's
be your
definitely
speed.
not an alcohol-y tasting cocktail.
Okay.
Which is good for me, but I definitely get some plum.
Yeah, you get the
I
plum.
get lemon. I don't get blueberry though.
Okay. So maybe that is the subtle flavor. And the vinegar is interesting, no?
I don't really get a lot of vinegar, but maybe it's balanced out whatever's going on in there. No?
And maybe it's meant to highlight the other flavors
maybe
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really delicious.
Good stuff. And it's the color of it is just so pink.
It's pink
It's
and
like
pretty.
a dark magenta.
Me likes the pink. Yeah,
Pink.
it's pretty.
And it's perfect for October.
That's delicious. I wish it had a little bit of blueberry because I love blueberry, but maybe it's in there and just masked by something else. You have to taste it. Let me know
Okay.
what you think because maybe you'll get blueberry.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
like
really
their
nice.
glasses then.
No, it's really good. It's delicious.
So I think the tartness is what I get.
Tart.
Yeah, I get the tartness. So that must be from the lemon.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit of the vinegar.
I definitely get lemon. Definitely.
I feel like maybe the vinegar is just a deft hand to punch up everything else.
Could be, yeah.
And to balance the sweetness so you're not
Yeah,
like...
for sure.
"Ugh."
Yeah, because that could easily go right over the edge of too sweet, but it's good.
And
For drinkers, I think that might be a little too sweet.
Like they
It's
may
good for
want more of the flavor of the vodka in this case, if they are. But at the same time, it's not a desserty drink either.
What makes something a desserty drink to you?
I think it's heavier.
Okay.
A heavier,
Like a creamier, like
an
a
espresso martini
Yeah,
kind of thing.
absolutely.
Which might have, or an affogato with some coffee liqueur, because that's
For sure.
thicker.
yeah.
Thicker.
Love that.
Yeah.
But it's good. That's really good.
I love yours. I love yours. Are you going to sip more?
I've been knocking them out of the park today. You like my drinks better than you like yours.
Nah,
Picking them, I'm
listen.
not even doing anything. I'm just sitting here.
Listen, I think that we knocked it out of the park with not only 1, but 2. And I imagine their whole entire menu is fantastic. Because they let us have a sample of a Bushwick, KCBC Bushwick 5.4% ABV IPA, which was quite citrusy and
It was very bubbly.
yeah.
And I tasted citrus, but I didn't really taste anything else. But I didn't know what I was drinking or if I was supposed to taste something
Anything else.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
okay. It was good. I
So
mean,
it was a good citrus IPA.
Yeah.
And
I'm an IPA girl now. It's been
of course.
established.
And there's a Pilsner that is 4.8, very sessionable. What they call sessionables is like you can drink a lot. Or you can order one and split it with a friend who's along.
I'm jealous.
I'm going to tell you that we had these. They had bar seating, but you walk out of the standard Wormwood Distillery, and there is a huge common area in between their bar and the next establishment.
Hopefully, you're going to share some photos for everybody on our socials
It was
so that
so
they can see
comfy.
this.
Comfy
what a neat
couches.
space. The stuff you've shown me is gorgeous.
We had comfy couches to enjoy our beverages, and it was just like Janine said, yeah, let's just stay here all day and all night and just see it turn dark and all the the
There's nothing
seasonal
wrong with that.
decorations.
If you're not driving,
too.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So and Uber, Lyft, taxi, designated driver, that I just think these people make great cocktails, make great spirits, and
So, what did you do for food there? No.
and shout out to our bartender Sasha. Just he was phenomenal.
Okay.
So, just have to say
And
that.
for food, what did you do there?
For food, No, we didn't. They have on their menu, they have chips and they have like chicken bites, but
They got bar bites, essentially. Okay.
yeah, they have a couple of different things. But really, you can go 2 doors down and have barbecue.
Gotcha. Okay. That was what I was
So
kinda
their specialty
shooting
is
for.
cocktails. You get the cocktails here, and then you go elsewhere to enjoy a meal
Gotcha.
within Industry City because
Makes
there's
sense.
plenty of options
That makes sense.
close by. So we'll have a link in the show notes.
Yes, but you've got their stuff here. Facebook.com/Standard Wormwood Distillery. Instagram.com/Standard Wormwood Distillery.
Nice and
You're
easy.
not going to confuse those.
No.
So that's going to do it for this week's episode. We would like to ask you folks, please do us a favor. It's been a minute since we've had a rating or review on Apple Podcasts. We'd love for you to go over there and give us 5 stars if we've earned it. We like to think that we have. 5 stars would be lovely. That would help us. The more reviews we get, the more recent the reviews that we get, the more frequently we are served up to people searching for content related to what we talk about.
And I will tell you, there's another benefit to rating us 5 stars because apparently Erin from the Will Run For podcast was on our show last week talking
was.
about her new podcast with Stephanie, Pace Yourself. It's Just Cancer. And she says, for any podcast that we have guested on, if you leave a 5-star review, then Tom will do 5 miles. So,
Exactly.
Tom, we are
Training efforts,
We're
buddy.
trying to help your training efforts, help Tom's training efforts, and give us a 5-star rating. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you so
Exactly.
much.
And thank you for joining us in 2024 on your long run, your commute to work, around the house, or wherever you are.
I'm your host, Amy.
And I'm your co-host, Dana.
Stay safe and well, and we will accomplish, explore, and indulge with you really soon.
That's a wrap. So thank you for joining us on your long run, your commute to work, around the house, wherever you are. I'm your host, Amy.
And I'm your co-host, Dana.
Stay safe and well, and we will accomplish, explore, and indulge with you really soon. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. We're having another great year thanks to your support. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We're at Run, Eat, Drink Podcast. And on Twitter, we're Run, Eat, Drink Pod. You can also give us a call at 941-677-2733 or send us an email at info@runeatdrink.net. Visit our website at runeatdrink.net and click on the subscribe link so you don't miss a minute. Find out how you can support the show at patreon.com/runeatdrinkpodcast. Accomplish, explore, and indulge right along with us. We'll talk to you next time.